Hello all, this is Dr. Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video I want to talk to you about if you actually have fear and hate in your heart at this moment. So if you don't know me, I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out that I want to pay the favor forward and help you out. So I really wanted to talk about this. I think this is a really important thing, but difficult conversation for me to talk about publicly because, frankly, I'd feel uncomfortable with a lot of these things because it is a strange time in the world around this, particularly if you're living in the United States. There's some really uncomfortable conversations that we're having, uncomfortable actions that are occurring around us. It's the summer of 2020. As somebody that is kind of a neutral observer with these things that are going on around us, we have to be very careful with the feelings that we have as individuals. And I know, so first of all, if you do have fear and hate in your stomach at this moment, and it is, if you are feeling very frightened, alone, that there is a, pending doom, or that people are, that there's somebody else has an advantage over you, I truly would encourage you to go and talk to somebody about this. These are all sort of moments that in your life that are calling for people to, it's calling for you, it's a signal, it's information that something is just uncomfortable sitting in your stomach at this moment. So please do go and talk to somebody about this, whether it is a counselor, whether it is, it's a good friend, something along those lines. Those emotions are real, and I'm not discounting them, but it's emotions that we as human beings have to get over, in the sense that in order for us to make progress in our life, we have to really acknowledge what is happening with those emotions. It's, being emotional is totally human, and this is something that I've learned over years, is having those emotions of fear, hate, wanting to hold back, not speak out, wanting to lash out, whatever it is, those kind of emotions that we have, totally normal sort of ways that we process things, and we all deal with these kind of things in different ways. But if you're feeling that in your heart at this moment, it's kind of a signal that you probably should go talk to somebody. And I know many of you are going to watch this and totally discount it, but if the one person that actually does this at this moment and gets something from it, you can leave a comment below and let other people know. But at the other sort of side of it, I'm genuinely happy for you. So with these emotions, we have to ask ourselves, what are we afraid of, and why do we hate that particular thing? And often it is things that have happened to us in the past. At least for me, and this is all I can speak about, right, is my own personal experience. And, I do study learning from experience, and there are sort of events that happen in our life that do frame how we see things around us, and not everybody sees those things in the same sort of light. That's why it's really cool when we go to get education. That's a huge thing that happens in our life. When you do that, is it totally changes who you are as human beings. You see things totally different in the sense that it doesn't have to be the way that the world is. It can be much more different, and it's a conversation of how we actually deal with these things. So with that in mind, really try to ask yourself, why do I actually feel this particular way? and really go down that path of trying to figure that out. For me, it's been very helpful for dealing with things that are going on in my life. And a really big thing is these YouTube videos of how do I actually process some of these things and being open with it, open with you, that people process these things. I process these things as my personal tendency is to hold back and to hide. But there's other people that deal with it in different ways. And what you have to do as a person is try to talk through this and try to be open with these particular emotions. When you're frustrated, that's usually a sign of frustration. That's why actually, when you're in the classroom and students hate you as a professor, they're just really frustrated with what's going on. They can't sort of figure out what is going on, and they're really struggling with that, right? So there's this kind of an emotional aspect in learning, and everybody goes through this. I really process this, and it's really a struggle for me, right? So there's different emotions that you have. But what I'm trying to get at here is, if you're going through these things, really try to ask yourself why you actually feel that particular way. And if it is that particular way, why are you afraid? Why are you actually getting those emotions when you have that? Is there something out there that's genuinely that scary or that frightening that is giving you those particular emotions? Whether it is that you feel that you have to speak out and protest about things, whether it is that you feel that you have to, hide, which probably most of you that are watching this are mostly kind of more academic types. You're probably more along those that sort of feeling, but really try to think about what is going on in your life that is driving those particular emotions and why you're actually feeling that way. And the sooner that you can get to a conversation where it is not emotionally charged, that there is an open heart where, and I know that sounds kind of willy-nilly, but it's really just that you don't go into those kind of emotional tones and are afraid to do particular things, or that you are really aggressively feeling one particular thing. If you can get to a state where you don't feel like that, you can often have a very proactive conversation with other people that allows you to move things forward in terms of what is going on in your life. Not only in terms of academics, if you're watching this because it's kind of academically oriented, but other things that are going on in your life. Really pay attention to what are those emotional triggers that are making you feel that particular way, and just talk through it. I know it seems really crazy to do this, but this is a really effective tool with dealing with things in your life, is just talking through things. Sometimes you may have to go for walks. Walking is really good. Sometimes you have to walk and talk. That's even better, but these kind of moments where you feel like you have a lot of fear, a lot of hatred for something or someone or some group, it is a signal for you to process what is going on in your life. This is what makes it so uncomfortable for me, because it is dealing with a pretty heavy topic that I don't like dealing with, but it's a real part of being a human being and dealing with these things. So that's what I would try to do, is use it as emotional sort of signals, that those emotions that you have as signals, and why people feel those particular way, and try to deal with what is going on around you, especially in this time where there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty in the world, and what we mean as countries, as communities, and how we're dealing with things around us, when there is not a lot of help from other people. I know some of you are watching this and you're probably at home alone watching this, but know that there's at least one other person that is caring for you at this moment. And that's all I can say at this moment. If you have a heart that is feeling these emotions, really try to think about why you're actually feeling those particular emotions, and have a conversation, whether it's with a counselor or somebody else. Really think about why you actually feel that particular way, and that's going to accomplish a lot in your life. Why are you actually afraid of something that is happening that is making you feel so afraid that you need to do those particular emotions, and that's going to really make a lot of progress in around you. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.